In this video, we're gonna talk about my exact fueling strategy that I do on a 2-hour ride, exactly how I fuel, exactly what I take, exactly when I drink, everything that entails getting through a 2-hour bike ride. So as you can see on this bike, we have 3 bottles. We have a bottle here, and we got 2 bottles back here. Each bottle is gonna represent 1 hour. So to start off each bike ride, we refill each bottle. Our main source of carbohydrates this year is gonna be raw endurance fuel. This by far is the best carbohydrates that you can get out on the market for a couple of reasons. Number one, you've got 1 to 0.8 glucose to fructose ratio, which means it's going to be better on your stomach. You're gonna be able to intake a lot more carbohydrates per hour without having to deal with stomach issues. Number 2, it's got 300 milligrams of sodium. This is big because a lot of carbohydrates out there, they won't give you any sodium, and you have to intake that through salts or through tabs. That can just be an added stressor that you don't want to have to worry about, and Raw went ahead and took care of that for us. So typically what I'm doing right now is I'm taking 3 scoops per hour. Because it's only a 2-hour ride, we have 3 bottles. I'm only gonna fill up 2 bottles with carbohydrates. So each scoop is 25 grams of carbohydrates, so we'll go 75 grams per hour in each bottle. Now, as we get closer and closer to our actual Ironman, I'm gonna start bumping up the serving sizes all the way up to 100 to 120 grams per hour. So that is 75 grams in each bottle. The third bottle is just gonna stay water. And this is gonna allow me to push my body pretty hard for those 2 hours and not have to worry about any cramping or muscles just getting completely depleted and burnt out. So it's really important when you have longer workouts that you're giving your body the proper fuel to be able to get through the workouts. If you try to do very long workouts with no fueling strategy, your body's gonna eventually start cramping, start shutting down, and it's pretty much game over for you. So your fueling strategy is something that needs to be practiced in your Ironman training so that when race day comes, your body's used to it, not gonna have any stomach issues, and it's something you've been doing all year long. So that is my fueling strategy right now, and I'll show you how we intake it during our ride. Let's go. All right, so basically for this workout, we're gonna go 2 hours. We are gonna push the wattage today. On the weekends, because the workouts aren't too long, like our long workouts, they're not aggressively long. What I've been doing is really just testing my legs, you know. Throughout the week, we do some strength workouts, and, you know, the goal is to get my legs stronger. So while we're in kind of this preseason mode, it's nice to be able to use those weekends as little tests to see, you know, am I feeling better? Am I feeling stronger? And yeah, so that's how we kind of treat the weekend. So today we'll do around 2 hours, maybe a little less than 2 hours. We'll continue to sip on the carbs as the workout goes. But yeah, I'm really hoping to kind of be somewhere in the 170 to 180 watts. That would be nice. So we'll give that a go. So we're gonna head this way towards Irvine first, a little bit of a climb, and then we'll head back down. All right, so tip number 1 that I have for you guys as far as fueling throughout your bike ride is you wanna be sipping every 10 to 15 minutes. Doesn't have to be big sips. You definitely wanna be intaking about every 10 to 15 minutes. The reason behind that is if you get behind on nutrition in a race, in a long workout, you're fucked. You're absolutely done. So some people will have a little timer go off every 10 to 15 minutes to take a sip. Me personally, I just have a mental clock, so I know. But if you get behind, it's not good. Because when you get behind, you can't catch back up. When you get behind, you're done. There's no coming back from that. Your body will start cramping, your body will start shutting down, and at that point, there's nothing you can do. So it's very crucial to make sure that you are sipping every 10 to 15 minutes and getting in 1 bottle per hour. Now, the next thing you want to think about while you are doing your workouts
is the intensity. If the intensity is up, your body will likely burn through carbohydrates a lot quicker than if the workout was in zone 2. So, because like I just said, the intensity is higher for me today, that's why I'm intaking the raw fuel. If it was a shorter workout and lower intensity, then I wouldn't even take any fuel. I would just maybe have some water and just know, because my body's already burning carbs from what I've eaten last night. So you gotta also remember that your body stores carbs from the food that we eat, and that can be used for the workout, or even if the intensity is low enough, your body can actually use body fat as a fuel source, and you can burn body fat as well. So another supplement you may see me use is Ketone IQ. I will typically use that on really long workouts or any fasted workouts where I feel like maybe I need some extra energy aside from, you know, the body fat that I plan to use for those workouts. Then I'll add ketones into that. Any full Ironman training, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour workouts, I'm definitely dual stacking the raw fuel and Ketone IQ. I'll do a shot, maybe 1 to 2 hours. This year I might even test 2 shots per hour. Dual stacking ketones and carbohydrates is a great strategy to combine. Today, just need some carbohydrates. Another common question I'll get from time to time too is, how do you train with no music? And it's pretty simple, man. It's really just being in the present moment, enjoying the ride. When you catch fast speeds too, you know, it really just puts you in that flow state where there's really no need for music. Yeah, it may be hard in the beginning, don't get me wrong, but the more and more you do it, it just becomes peaceful. It's like meditative. And from time to time, I'll just play some music on my speakers, but 95% of the time, I'm no music. And just really enjoying this time as almost a meditative practice, which is pretty cool. All right, we are at the top of Irvine, turning around. Now we head to Newport. I love this portion of the ride. It's just straight downhill. And this is the flow state that I'm talking about right here. Going about like 27 miles an hour, just cruising. You know, another thing I've noticed too since hybrid training is, since incorporating leg days again, it really seems like my glute activation is just on a different level on the bike now. Instead of just predominantly using my quads, I now feel a lot of glute activation, which just makes me feel so strong. The next thing I want to talk about is not caring too much about speed and more focus on the watts. For example, right now, we're getting smoked by headwind. And I should be going like 22 miles an hour, but I'm not because of the headwind. So, it's more important to focus on the watts, putting out the proper power that you're supposed to put out, especially in this situation. So right now, I'm putting out like 180 plus watts, but I'm only going, but I'm only going like 15 miles an hour, which sucks and can be demotivating, but just focus on the power. And if you're getting smoked by headwind right now, just know on the way back, you'll have tailwind. So don't overexert yourself trying to get back up to your 20 plus miles an hour, whatever the case may be. just to meet your ego. All right, the next tip for getting through a 2-hour-long ride is to find a good RPM, which is your pedaling. I stay anywhere between 70 to 90 RPMs. The higher the RPMs, the faster your legs are spinning. The lower the RPMs, the slower your legs are spinning. And there's benefits to both. Spinning faster is easier, but it feels more like cardio. So you can put out higher amounts of power, but have it make it feel less because your legs are spinning so fast. Whereas a lower RPM, you kind of feel like you're putting more strength into it and you're not having to spin out so fast. I would recommend finding a good balance between both, where maybe you spend some time in high RPMs, maybe you spend some time in low RPMs, because both are beneficial. Now we're over at Newport Back Bay. We got about half of the loop to do, and then we'll head back.
And those are the top tips I have for you to get through a 2-hour bike ride. All in all, what it really comes down to is consistency, putting in the miles, putting in the work, and just learning your body. You're gonna learn something new every workout, every race. So continue to put in the miles and continue to be a student to yourself and learn and master your body. That's ultimately what it comes down to, is mastering your body. So put in the miles, put in the work, and use some of those tips for your next long ride. See you guys in the next video. Peace.